in the People of the Pecos Gallery. Today I want to talk to you about the people of the Pecos who lived about 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. The subject of the Kittie West Ferguson Gallery. The people of the Pecos were hunters and gatherers. They lived in open campsites near water and during much of the year, but during cold periods or in periods of bad weather, they would move into rock shelters. The rock shelters provide a very protected, sheltered habitat, but also it helped preserve the material remains. And because of that, that's why we know so much about the people of the Pecos from the archaeology. What do we mean by when we could say they're hunters and gatherers? Well, people lived off the landscape. They did not farm. They used the entire landscape over the full scope of the year in terms of gathering. Some of the major plants that they fed upon were prickly pear, the succulent bulbs of lechuguilla and sotal, wild onions, wild persimmons, grapes, cattails, a number of plants like that, wild plants. These were cooked in earth ovens. To make an earth oven, all you have to do is dig a pit about that much in diameter and about that deep, and you line the bottom of the pit with wood, and you place a layer of rocks on top of the wood, and then you fire the wood, and that heats the rocks up. The rocks provide the heat that's going to cook the food. Then you place the food on top of the rocks, cover that with grass and earth, and let it cook for a couple of days. The heat breaks down the alkaloids in the bulbous plants like lechuguilla and sotal, and it converts it into sugar. And it's a wonderful trail food that lasts for a long time. And it helped to sustain these people primarily during the winter months. In the spring, you had the wild fruits and vegetables coming out. In the summer as well. Gathering supplied about 80 to 90% of their diet, more than you would think. They were also hunters. Hunting was done with the spear thrower and spear. The spear thrower is an extension of the arm and allowed the thrower to throw the spear much farther and more accurately than if you just hand through the spear. The spears were tipped with stone points that were made from local raw materials. The major game hunted was deer during this period of time, the 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. They also hunted rabbits. The rabbits were oftentimes trapped in hunting nets. Rabbits were more important than probably the deer because the rabbit fur provided the resource for their winter clothing. Deer skins don't protect you much from this cold, but rabbit fur does. And rabbit fur robes were the major source of warmth for these people in the Pecos during the winter time. They also used dogs. We know they had dogs from the dog bones in the archaeological sites. They're small dogs, but dogs were very important in terms of assisting in hunting, but also as sentries, guarding against strange groups coming into the area. One of the most common questions that I get on the people of the Pecos is, what tribe did they belong to? Well, we don't know. 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, there was no one around to record tribe names. And when the Europeans began to come into the area, that is when they began to record the names of the people from people's perspective and also from the Spanish perspective. So we don't know what they called themselves. Well, we do know they had, of course, a spoken language. It was one of the general language families that was in that region at the time. They also used sign language. Sign language was very important because it allowed them to communicate with groups that spoke a little bit different language than they did. But they also left another record too. They communicated through pictures or pictographs. The protected cave walls provided an incredible canvas for rock art murals, pictographic murals. So the Lower Pecos is the most outstanding area for pictographic murals in the world. And there are hundreds of them down there that survive today. Why did they survive? Some of these are thousands of years old. They survive because of the mineral paints. There's 4 colors: red, yellow, black, and white. Red is iron ochre. Yellow is limonite, that's also another iron mineral. The black is manganese, and the white is kaolin. These mineral paints have lasted forever. The only problem we have with the preservation, of course, is the deterioration of the cave wall itself, not the paints. But that record tells us a lot about the people and how they communicated to their own groups and through their legacy through time. It's really quite an incredible record. So thank you for your time and for joining us for this segment of Witte, Where You Are.